Hey guys, MD Prepper here, talking more about the Bear Grylls line. Again, much maligned, but decent stuff for intro gear. We're talking about the Bear Grylls / Gerber sliding saw today. I just picked this up a couple days ago at Walmart for about 20 bucks. I think they retail MSRP for $27 to $30 give or take. Saw it at Wally World for cheap. Decided to pick it up. Thought it'd be interesting. I've got other folding saws, but don't have any sliding saws. Just never picked one up. I'm a fan of the Baco Laplander, which we'll talk about and compare to this here in a second. But overall, I think this is a decent blade. Saw, rather. Which I guess a saw blade. Still a blade. But anyway, as I said, ran about 20 bucks at Walmart, 1995, something like that. Obviously comes in the standard Bear Grylls colors and style here. Blaze orange and all that, which I know a lot of people have issues with that, but I don't. I can see it if I drop it. One of the fantastic things about this compared to all the other folding saws that I've got is it's got that lovely rubberized Bear grip, or Bear Grylls grip on it right there. Despite all the flashing with Bear Grylls and the BG, this is very nice. This is not going to slip in muddy or wet conditions, anything like that. I think that's a major plus. I like the grip on this better than I do my Laplander saw. It's just better. It's just got a better grip to it, better texture, etc. Got a hold in your hand a lot nicer. Other specific stats about this thing: it is 5 ounces in weight. The blade saw is SK5 steel. It's 8.5 ounces in the closed version. It has a 6-inch blade that I'll show you here in a second. And overall it's 14.75 inches in length. So this is about the same dimensions as any kind of folding saw or sliding saw you're going to find. I think this seems to be the standard, at least it is for all the other stuff I've got, which is fine. A little bit bigger than your hand needs, but you can grip on it anywhere you need to. So, alright. Let's show you this thing. Backside here, you got a little knob that tightens down to keep the blade in place, whether it's retracted or not. All you do here, you unscrew it, counterclockwise position, blade screws out, and then it screws in right here. Blade itself, I'll show you up close. Of course, it's got Gerber and Bear Grylls' little signature on it, as you would expect. The teeth on this are decent, actually. They're going to cut coming and going, forward and rear. So very nice there. I've not done a whole lot with this, as I said earlier. Smaller limbs and twigs and smaller things out in the yard. I've heard it said that anything larger, like trying to saw through a big chunk of wood, like a 4-inch piece or something like that, this isn't cut for. It's not going to last on you. I saw some comments about it breaking with big chunks of wood. Well, again, this is 20 bucks. This is a light-duty saw, okay? My Laplander I'd put against better stuff, but the Laplander cost about 50% more or something like that. As stated previously, this is about 6 inches compared to the Laplander's 7. Perfectly decent. It's got cross-cut teeth on it, like I already showed you. I think that's perfectly decent. Again, thinner, like you would expect for a saw blade, and that's exactly what you want. You want some flex in this thing. You don't want anything too rigid. So, there it is in my average size hands. Decent size, good beefy grip on it, very nice. It's going to do the job just fine, especially for intro work. If you're starting off with bushcraft, you need a saw. For 20 bucks, it's a great place to start. It's a lot better, in my opinion, than your little standard Coughlin saws and all of that. Let me secure this up so I can talk about the other advantages of this that I think are very nice. In addition to the nice little rubberized grips here, you got lots of holes here. You got a spot back here, which is really intended for your lanyard hole. Does not come with a lanyard or leather or anything like that, or cordage. Kind of wish it did. But you got 2 holes up here on what I'd say the front side of the grip. Well, that's a lot of holes. That's 3. 1, 2, and 3. Well, the good thing about this as an option is you can secure this to a pole, a long piece of wood, something like that, a stick, to make a long pruning shear, something like that. So if you're out prepping and stuck in the woods and you find a pear tree and you look up and you realize, wow, look at that, there's pears or apples or something up in the trees that I just can't get to, and I need to get to them, well, guess what? You can improvise a long arm to reach up there and saw this thing down. You can turn this into a pruning shear if you need to. Take a little bit of work, but not too much, and get the job done. I've not seen this option on your cheaper, lower end folding or sliding saws. So I like that a lot. You know, you can reach out and cut someone if you need to, limbs and whatnot, whether you need them for cover or you just need to harvest some fruit or something like that. Nice option to have. Let me compare this to the Baco Laplander, which, as I said, is my preferred one. I've got two of them. This is my little 72-hour kit one that I don't use. I got another one I beat to death. So overall, they're almost identical in dimensions overall. One's a little longer, one's slightly thinner, but in the end, they're about the same. Weight, this one's a little bit, the Bear Grylls one's a little bit lighter by about 1.5 ounces, I believe 2 ounces. This one's 5. I think this one's 7.5, maybe 8 ounces. I can't remember exactly. Not huge overall. But as far as dimensions, like I said, they're the same. The grip is much better on this one. They're nice on this Baco Laplander. They're better on the Bear Grylls. They just are. This one's got this little sort of cheesy little button here, which holds up well, but you got to push it and fold it out and it clips in. I just kind of worry about this thing getting snapped free or something like that, personally. It does come with leather on the back. I will do a review of the Baco Laplander at some point. Again, comparing a folding saw to a sliding is not exactly fair, but here we go. We're going to just show you just cause. Putting the blades together, you can't see it there. Actual blade, it's about 1 inch longer here, and you can't see it because of this thing laying up at a different angle, but it is about 1 inch longer on the Baco. Grips, almost identical as far as the length of them. Different angle on them slightly. Again, I like this one better. Love this one. This one's a bit better. And this one, of course, does come with your lanyard hole on the backside, but no attachments for making this thing a large pruning shear or anything like that. So you could, of course, fashion something like that, but honestly, with the holes here on this one, that's a better choice with the Bear Grylls. A little forethought on that. I like that for survival, bushcraft, or just general field use. Very nice, very sturdy, secures it very nice and tight. The nut here to tighten it, it's got some little dimpling and stippling on it so that you can grab it and tighten it up real easily. Very nice overall. Again, people complain about the orange. I think that's a good thing. Now, I've still got to get used to unscrewing this thing and slide it down with my hand right there. I'm used to the folding saws. So this is the first real sliding saw that I've owned. I've used some more, but I like it, especially for 20 bucks. And like I said before, you may say, well, the Baco Laplander, like you just said, is probably a better blade overall. Yeah, it is. This was 30 bucks. This was 20. Well, that's not a lot of price difference. Yeah, but if you've only got 20 bucks, this is the way to go. This is 50% more expensive, and I've never seen the Baco Laplander, at least locally here in South Carolina, for sale in a store. Never have seen it. Maybe it's out there somewhere, and I guarantee you, you're not going to find it for 30. 30 is the low budget price. 27, I think, is what I paid for this on Ben's Backwoods. 20 bucks at Walmart, available. Buy it today. Yeah, this is going to get the job done. Now, could I use and abuse this more? Yeah, but honestly, the stuff you could use and abuse the Baco Laplander for, you really should be using a hatchet or an axe for, okay? But I'll talk about that later. I'm going on too much. Anyway, Bear Grylls sliding saw, great for 20 bucks. I think it's fantastic. 6-inch blade, SK5 steel, 5 ounces overall. A little bulky, but all of your hand saws will be. Honestly, if you have a decent bushcraft knife, you know, fixed blade, and this, for you personally or a couple people, that's going to do all the bushcraft work you're going to need. You probably don't have to have a hatchet. It's big, it's heavy, it's nice, but for most stuff, you're going to get by with this and a decent fixed blade knife. A lot less weight, a lot lower cost, and it's going to do just fine. Now, if I was going out in the woods forever and having to chop down a tree, yeah, give me a hatchet or an axe. But for small day-to-day, you know, 3-day camp, 72 hours, this is the way to go. No sheath for it, anything like that. Doesn't really need one because of the way it secures up. Throw it in your pack. It's not going to snag on anything or tear anything up, especially if you secure it down here once you got it closed. So there it is, the Bear Grylls sliding saw. About 20 bucks. I think it's a great addition. It's kind of your second generation of the Bear Grylls line. MD Prepper, out.